Hello and welcome to Wednesday the 26th class. The class of Wednesday the 26th, that's easier to say. Just let me adjust this slightly. The A to Z of exercise is something that I've talked about before, and it's about walking and how to walk properly. And I'm sure some of you think, what are you talking about? I know how to walk. You put one foot in front of the other. But it can be more complicated than that. I'm going to show you a way to walk that protects your knees and is much more efficient. You can walk faster for less effort. But first of all, I want to talk about another W. There's lots of W's, aren't there? Which is waist measurement. I'm sure you're all hearing a lot of stuff at the moment about obesity and COVID-19 and all sorts of things. BMI. BMI is quite a good, some people say BMI is not a good indicator of obesity. And it's not. If you're a very muscly 20-ish-year-old man who plays rugby and who is full of muscle, you would have a BMI that probably would put you in the overweight or obese category, because muscle weighs much heavier than is much heavier than fat. But for us ordinary mortals, it's a fairly good rule of thumb. But an even easier way, because it's not just where you carry whether you have fat on you, because all women have more subcutaneous fat than men. It's where you carry the fat. Now, I carry it here, as do a lot of people. So a very good way is, if you measure your waist measurement should be half or less your height. So I'm 5 foot. I'm going to say 5'6". I used to be 5'6". I shrunk a bit, but 5'6", which is 66 inches. So 33. My waist measurement should be 33 inches or less, which I'm glad to say it is. I can't do that in centimeters. For those of you that are metric, you'll have to Google it. But it works the same in inches or centimeters. Right, walking. So when you're walking, you hold yourself nice and tall, shoulders relaxed, head up, looking about 6 foot in front of you. Try not to look at your feet. They are still there, I assure you. And so a nice sort of upright posture. If you can, holding in your core, engaging your core. Now I'm going to put the camera down because I want you to look at my feet, because it's the feet action that I want to show you. So you can see my feet now. So what you do is, when you take a step forward, pick your toes up, so dorsiflexion. Some people if you watch, people walk like this. If you've had a fall, it's tempting not to pick your feet up because it unbalances you and you tend to shuffle, which leads to more falling. So if you can, pick your foot, when you pick your foot up, dorsiflect, pull your toe back, land on your heel, and then you use your foot, all your foot. I'll try and show you here. Use your foot. You almost roll on the outside of your foot and push off with your toe. So I'll show you what we're doing. So it's difficult to explain. Up, heel, foot. And you're using your whole foot like that. Your whole foot. Now, when I tell people, show people to do this, I see them going, just walk at normal pace. It's much easier, but just get into the habit. You've got to when you do it, you've got to sort of John Travolta bounce. And it does, using your toe. So it's like that, using your toe to push off. It's difficult to show you on film, on video, on camera. So it's that. But exaggerate it at first if you want, just to get the. I'm exaggerating it just to get the idea. So it's up like that, and then you're sort of almost rolling like that, and then pushing off with your toe. But you're using your whole foot to walk. You're bending your toes rather than just shuffling. Have a look next time. I'll tell you where's a good place. If you look at hello. If you look at if you drive and you're at a Pelican Crossing, have a look at the way that people that are crossing walk. and see how many of them actually use their whole foot. And it's a much easier way of getting along. Swinging your arms naturally. I'm going to put this down a bit. It's especially nice to do on a thick carpet, actually. My carpet's quite thick. Covered in mud because I'm wearing my running shoes because my other shoes are hurting me, and there's a lot of mud on the bottom of this. So every footstep I take, I leave a little trail of mud, but I didn't have time to clean them properly before. I didn't realise that my other shoes were hurting me. Or would hurt me, because I hurt my foot the other day. Right, it is 9 o'clock. And we have 8 people. So if you're new to this class, it'd be nice if we had some new people. So spread the word. Don't forget to subscribe. You will need a chair and a band, an exercise band. Not one of the ones with handles, although you could use one if you. It's better for the way I do the exercises. The ones with handles are good. They're all good. But one of these ones, the long ones. Somebody asked me the other day, said that Decathlon was sold out. Obviously, watching this has made people rush out and buy bands. Amazon, I mean, I think I got this one off Amazon. The only thing with Amazon is that you can't tell what strength they are, and you can't tell what quality they are. I just took potluck and was quite lucky. But I had a look on Amazon, and they seem to be selling bands in packs of 3 these days, which means that you get a variety of strengths, which, as I spoke about last week, it's good to have a variety of strengths because different exercises may need different strengths of band, although you can adjust the tension. So anyway, that's the band. Excuse me, I'm just having a blanc of tea. I don't have much time on a Wednesday because I have to take the dog out before so that he isn't he's asleep now, but I wanted to show you him. He's huge now. He's about that size. Remember when he was just tiny like that? Anyway, you need a chair. Some of the exercises we do in the chair, and we use the chair for holding on to and things. Some we're actually sitting in the chair. If you have problems standing up, you can do most of the exercises in the chair. I think that's all I need to say. The exercise class, this is your exercise class. So do it at your level. You're not competing with anybody else. Some of the exercises, if you can't do 10 of them, we'll do 10 of each exercise. If you can't do 10, do as many as you can, and 10 is something to aim for. It's not this no pain, no gain. Not any of that. Prue. Like that walking advice, thank you. Easier with flex. Yes. Prue has just made the point that if you're walking, it's easier if you have soft shoes. I mean, these are trainers, but they're really soft. I love trainers. I spend most of my time in welly boots at the moment because I'm walking the dog in wet grass, and it's a bit more difficult to do it in welly boots. And my walking boots are a little bit stiff, but I still can do it. But it is very good. It's good to get into the habit of practicing. And you don't look like John Travolta particularly. Right. The exercise class has 3 components. It's got a warm-up, a main body of the exercise, and then stretching at the end. So when we finish at the end, don't go zooming off because we've got stretches to do. Right. I think that's enough. Anything else that I've forgotten, I'll tell you about on the way through. And I've no doubt somebody will remind me. So we're going to start just by marching on the spot, just walking. Well, it's not marching. This is marching, isn't it? But we're just very gently walking, hardly taking your feet off the ground, but do it on your toes if you can. And use your arms, exaggerate your arms slightly so that your shoulders are moving, because we want to warm up all the joints as well as all the muscles. So we're just going to do this for a few more seconds. I've got to learn not to say a few more minutes because people go, what? And then we're going to stop. Put your hands on your shoulders. I'm going to raise the camera slightly. Right. Hands on shoulders and up. If you can't get your hands by your arms by your ears, if you can only get them to there, that's absolutely fine. As I always say, don't force it though. If you could just by constantly moving it to where you can. It's just the movement will eventually loosen them. Not today. And if you want, you can still keep doing your leg movements. Hands down to there, and then push the air away out to the side, back in again, forward, back. And we're going to do that twice more. So up, out to the side, front, and then up again last time, down, out, back in, forward, and back. Okay, right. Still with the arms and the shoulders. Put your hand on your shoulder, make your arm like a wing, and have it sticking out at 180 degrees from your body. Imagine there's a pencil sticking out of your elbow, and we're going to draw big circles on an imaginary wall, 5 back and 5 forward. So we're going to go 1, 2, nice range of movement, 3, 4, 5, and then forward, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and then same on the other side. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And finally, the last one for our arms. This is my favorite. Somebody said the other day, actually said, thank you for the arm exercises, because they'd been kayaking with their grandchildren and had managed a full day's kayaking. I don't know if I can take total credit, but I'm going to take some credit for it. Remember, you don't rock backwards and forwards, and as one arm comes up, the other one goes back. If you can't get your arm up to your ear, fine, just do what you can. And we're going to do 10, so we're going to do 1, not too fast, 2, and this is your back muscles are working on this one as well. Well, back muscles are working. 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Well done. Right, we're going to start our little routine. I'm going to put the camera down just very slightly. And we're going to start by doing heel digs. Just a little dig in front of you, not very far. And at the same time as we do that, anchor your elbows into your waist. And we're going to do a bicep curl with the opposite arm. Make sure you're doing opposite arm and leg. And this is preparing your bicep. We're going to do bicep curls with a band later on. So this is warming up your biceps and your elbow joints. And if you clasp your hands, it's doing your hands as well. 3, 2, 1. Next one, we're going to go, just let me move this chair. We're going to go out to the side, feet out to the side, not very far. When you do it, try not to let this knee come in. There he is. Hello. You're going to say hello to everybody. Go and have a sleep. Yes, when you're doing this, try not to let that knee go like that. Try and keep your knee straight. These muscles should be strong enough to not let your knee come in like this. And at the same time as you're doing this, prayer hands. I'm having to really concentrate to keep my knees straight now. Out to the side. He's gone into his bed. 3, 2, 1. I can't remember if I did that one or not. And then we're going to go take a step back. Just tap your toe. at the back, just a slight step back. And at the same time, have your hands at chest height. Put your hands out. Again, I'm noticing that my knees are going in, especially my left knee at the moment. Try and keep your knees straight when you do it. I'll try and that's a bit more difficult that way. It's good to do this in front of a mirror because then you can see what your knee's doing. 3, 2, 1. Last one. Just going to tap your toe in front of you. Just a tap. And then at the same time, just swing the opposite arm. Don't need to bother about your knees on this one, thankfully. Okay. 3, 2, 1. Right. I was reading yesterday about how we need to keep our strength up as we get older, because one of the main things we want to avoid doing is falling. And there's a difference between strength and power, because strength is just what you can lift and what you can do, you know, body weights doing there. And power is strength plus speed. And you need power I've said this before, you need power if you're falling to catch yourself. And one way we can do that is by practicing unbalancing ourselves slightly. So I'm going to do a little bit of the shadow walking. And I'm going to put the camera down and I'm going to turn around so that you can see my feet again. It's called shadow walking because this is what the shadows used to do. Although I don't think I've ever actually seen them do it. They do different ones on the videos I've got. So we're going to put our right foot over our left and then bring our left foot back and then back into it. Imagine that you've got a square in front of you. So you're going to put your right foot into the top left-hand corner and then the left foot into the top right-hand corner and then back as you were. So we're going to go do, 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 do. 1, 2, 3, 4. Right, left, back, back. Right, left, back, back. Right, left, back, back. Right, left, back, back. One more time. Right, left, back, back. Be very careful not to get your ankles and your feet all tangled up. I don't want anybody falling. If you need to do it more slowly, do it more slowly. Do it at your own speed. Now we're going to go left, right. We're going to reverse it. So left, right, back, back, 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 left, right. One more time, left, right, back, back. How was that? Did you manage it? Right, we're going to do our little routine, but we're going to do it all the way through, giving you a bit of time just to forget it a little bit. So we're going to do heel digs, out to the side, back, toe tap. Heel digs, side, back, toe tap. Heel dig, side, back, toe tap. This is so good for you on so many levels because it's good for balance, it warms you up, it's good for coordination, it's good for memory. Heel, what last time? Heel dig, side, back, toe tap. Right, I think I'm properly warmed up. It's 1:15 anyway. It's because I've been gabbing too much. Excuse me, I'm going to have a slurp of tea. Right, we're going into the main body of the exercise now, and we're going to start with squats as usual. Now, I'm sorry about having to give an explanation because if anybody's new, they need to know about squats. So squats are not just, squats are sitting down without a chair. So you're sitting back like that. Some people think squatting is using your knees, but it's not. Your knees should never come over your toes. Those of you that know what you're doing, you can start squatting if you like, or as normal, put your hands here and just walk. So squatting, your feet are at least hip width apart, maybe a bit further apart. The further apart your legs, the easier it is. And then you stick your bottom out and you go down. You can go down that far, it's entirely up to you. Just do what you can do and keep the technique. Imagine you've got an eye in your chest and the eye looks forward all the time. If you can't do a free squat, use the chair. Now just look, when you sit in the chair, you stick your bottom out. If you notice how people sit, they don't sit like that, they sit like that. So if you can, put your hands here so if you're not tempted to use them, and just stand up and then sit down again in a controlled fashion. If you can't do that, use your arms, swing, and there. And if you can't do that, as a last resort, put your hands on your knees and stand up. Okay, now what you should do, be aiming for, is to always remember never to use your hands as you stand up. Only use your legs. Right, so we're going to do 10 squats. Starting now. I'll start sideways so as you can see, and then I'll move so as you can see the front. So we're going to go. Do them nice and slowly as well. So we're going down. 1. At the top, just tap your hands behind. Not if you're in the chair. 2. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 3. That confused me. 4. Remember, try and stay as upright as possible. 5. You should still be able to see straight ahead. 6. It should be your thighs that you feel it on. 7. 8. I put my hands out in front just to balance me. 9, because the weight is on your heels. As you know, I sometimes fall over backwards. 10. Well done. Now, because I'm nice to you, we're going to have a sit down. You need your band in the chair. Sitting in the chair, your feet are out with your toes pulled back. And you're going to loop the band around your foot in the instep if you can, so that there's less chance of it pinging off your feet and smacking you in the face. So, and your feet, your heels are always on the floor. Have quite a good bit of tension on the band. Sitting up nice and straight, don't rock. It's only your arms that move. And you're going to pull your arm back like that. Okay? It's not out to the side. So it's back. And hold imagine you've got a pound coin between your shoulder blades, and then back down again. This is where a bit of a stronger band might be better, because you're using both arms, and it's quite easy to have quite a heavy band on this one. 2, just your arms. 3, keep your feet on the floor. 4, I've seen people try to do this with their feet off the floor. It's just impossible. 6, legs straight. 7, 8, 9, 10. There we go. And we're staying seated. And we're going back just slightly so as you can see. So you put the band under your knees and then overlap it, and then hold it with your hands. Don't let it slip through your fingers. And then open your knees till your thighs are parallel. This is the starting off point. At this point, you should be actually having to exert a bit of pressure to keep your thighs parallel. And then you're just going to, not moving your feet. Your feet will probably tip on their side. You're just going to open and then close to there, controlling it. 1, 2. This will help stop your knees turning in when you're doing squats. 3, or the dance routine, the exercise routine. 4. I've done 4 already. 5. Sometimes counting is a bit difficult when you're talking at the same time. 6. 7. Sitting up nice and straight, don't use the chair. 8. 9. You can definitely use a stronger band for this one. 10. So if you get a pack of 3, it might be worthwhile trying out the exercises to see which band is best for you. Still needing the band, but not the chair. We're going to do a bicep curl. So you're going to stand on the band, both feet, so that it doesn't slip. Anchor your elbow into your waist. I have it sort of resting on my hip bone, and have a bit of tension so that when your arm is there, you're having to use this muscle to keep it there. And it's a closing arm movement. It's not lifting up. Your elbow stays exactly where it is, and you just close your elbow. So we're going to go 1. I'm going to turn sideways so as you can see. 2. Don't rock. 3. It's only your forearm that moves. 4. 5. It's raining again. 6. 7. 8. 9. 10. I could feel that towards 9 and 10. When you're doing exercises, it should be challenging. So when you get to sort of 8, 9, and 10, you should be thinking, I'll be glad when this is over. Other arm. 1. Don't have it so slack that it's just easy peasy. 2. 3. 4. But don't have it such tension that you can't do. 5, that it's a real struggle. 6. 7. 8. 9. 10. Well done. Right. We're going to do a bit of balancing now. So have the chair so that you can hold on to it if you need to. Do not think you can do this without the chair. You need the chair there to hold on to, because I don't want people falling over. So we're going to engage core, which are these big muscles around it's like a corset, your core muscles. And they support your backbone, allow you to move various things. So exhale, pull your navel into your backbone as hard as you can, and then relax it slightly. Pull these muscles in as well. Pull up your pelvic floor. And then we're going to put your hand on a hip, lift your leg, make your leg parallel. If you can't get it parallel to the floor, just do what you can. And then we're going to lift a bit more. And then down. Don't put your weight on the leg, just tap it on the floor to balance you. And then we're going to go up, up, 2. And then up again if you can. Woo! 3. Up. Ah, ha, ha, ha. 4. I'm a bit wobbly today. Up. Up. 5. This is something you can practice. Up. Up. 6. If you're standing in a bus queue or a post office queue, checkout queue, 7. Just lift one leg off the floor. Up. You don't need to do this. Up. 8. Up. Up. 9. And last one on this side. 10. I usually say you can either do this and then up or straighten your leg. Still okay to do that. I just didn't do that today. Right, engage your core. Sorry, yeah. Pull your navel in, pull all your bits and pieces up. Relax slightly and then up. Oops, up. 1. See that static leg wobbling there? Up, up. 2, up. 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Well done. Right, the next one is the upward row. If you don't have band, or if you're new, or if you can't get the technique with the band, do it without the band because you still get benefit. For this one, if you don't have a band, just hold your thumb so that your arms don't split apart. And then you've got that V there. And remember, you're lifting from your elbows. So the object is not to get your hands up to your chin no matter what. If you can get your hands up to your chin and keep that V, because your elbows are lifting, that's fine. If you can only get to your navel, that's fine. What I don't want to see is that, okay? Not that I can see at all, of course. Right. If you have a band, that's how you do it without a band. Stand on your band. Stand on your band. Oh, it's stuck to my shoes. And then cross it over like that. I'm going to come in. Oops. And then remember, keep your forearm, your wrist, and your hand like a board in one line. Don't do that. And we're going to go 10, nice and slow and controlled. 1, slow on the descent as well. 2, don't let gravity pull it down. 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Oh, well done. Right, we're going to do a bit of work on the old abs. So have your chair, and I'm going to do it this way. Sit sideways on the chair so that the back of the chair is either to the right of you or to the left of you. And I'm going to bring this in slightly. Now you can hold on. You need to have a bit of chair at the back of you. Sitting up nice and straight. Now, if you want to, you can hold on to the back for balance, if you feel insecure. And what we're going to do, or you can put your hands on your knees and just lean back so that your middle finger is about an inch up your thigh from your knee. But if you want to hold on with one hand, you can. And then we're going to, sitting here, we're going to just bring the knees up. 1, we're going to do 10. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. And then sit up. We're going to do it one more time. The reason that I think it's good to have your hands straight on your knees and then lean back till they're about 1 inch is it means you're not tempted to lean right back. You're only leaning back a very small bit, just enough so that your muscles have to control you and you're not hurting your back. So it's just a very small lean. Don't know if it's easier to see this way. No, I don't think it is. I think it's better if I'm sideways. Right, we're going to do that all again. So, if you need to hold on with one hand, but use the other hand on your knee so that you can gauge how far back to go. So we're just going back to there. And then we're going to go 1. Your hands don't move now. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Jolly good. How do you find that? Right. Triceps. You need your band again. The triceps are the ones on the underside of your arm, the opposite way from your biceps. This is the one where you have the band over one shoulder and then the opposite arm holds it here. This creates the tension. This decides how much tension you have on the band. Your other arm is back like this, as if you're going to wield a hammer. And the object of the exercise is to just straighten your forearm. Just lift your forearm up to the ceiling. If you've got mobility problems with your shoulder, same at the back, but have your hand here on your chest and you're pushing down towards the floor. It's using the same muscle. We're going to do 10. Are you ready? So 1, 2, 3. Try not to let your shoulder move. It's not this movement. It's up to the ceiling. 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Well done. And then swap arms. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Fabulous. Now, just because it's so good for you, we're going to do another 10 squats or another 10 stand-ups from the chair. So, I'm not going to chat a lot this time. I'm going to go, whoa, I'm falling backwards. 1, that's because my weight's on my heels. 2, maybe have them less on my heels. 3, 4, 5. Make sure your knees don't come together. 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Now my favorite. Side bends. So feet at least hip width apart. And we're just going to bend to the side, not going forwards or back. And if you want to use your hand above your head, remember, have it straight. Don't have it sort of inert and dangling. Have it so you're actually having to use it So we're going to go 1. Oh. It's easier if you breathe out as you go down. 2. 3. Just go down as far as you can. You don't. It's not a competition. 4. 5. 6. 7. 8. 9. 10. Oh. And then the other side. Oh. 1. Oh. 2. Maybe one day I'll do this without grunting and groaning. 3. 4. 5. 6. 7. 8. 9. 10. Oh, glad that's over with. Right. What we're going to do is we're going to go through the little routine that we do again, you know, the heel digs and things. We're going to go through it slowly 3 times, and then I'm going to speed it up because I used to play music, but I can't now because of copyright. So if you've got your own music that you want, put it on. But we're going to go heel dig, side, back, toe tap, heel dig, side, back, toe tap. One more time, heel dig, side, back, toe tap. That was maybe a bit fast. Sorry, I only realised halfway through the third one that I was going a bit fast. So, but we're going to go a bit faster now. If you can't remember the steps or you get flustered, don't worry, just keep at it because eventually you will be able to do it. Trust me, you will. So we're going to go heel, side, back, toe, 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 heel, side, back, toe. One more time, heel, side, back, toe. I hope you managed that. Now, before we go into the stretches, we're going to do heartbeat. That's the 3 bouts of 20 seconds of high intensity exercise, and it's running on the spot as fast as you can. Just little steps like that, tiny little steps. Don't bring your knees up like that. Tiny little steps, using your arms as well, but don't hunch your shoulders. It's as fast as you can like that. For 20 seconds, I'm going to time you. This is totally voluntary, but I think you'll enjoy it, and I know it's very good for you. And it makes you, it's a nice way to end the session, I think, before the stretching. But it is totally voluntary. If you don't want to do it, sit it out. You can do one of the 20-second bouts, sit the rest out. It's entirely up to you. If you've got any problems with your chest, if you've got angina, anything like that, You know yourself best whether you can do it or not. If you get chest pain, stop immediately. Right, so if you're ready, on your marks, set, off you go. "17, 18, 19, 20, stop." How was that? Is it okay? I'll give you a few little while to get your breath back. I think the first one's always the worst because your body's like saying, what are you doing to me? What? We were doing nice strengthening exercises, and now suddenly you're asking my heart rate to shoot up. But trust me, I'm a personal trainer. It's good for you. Right. Normally, if you were doing high intensity interval training, you would have longer to recover. But because we don't have very long, and because I'm just cruel, I'm going to start the next bout of 20 seconds now. So are you ready? On your marks, set, off you go. "17, 18, 19, 20. How was that? I think the second one is probably the best one, the easiest one, because you're warmed up, you're ready for it, but you're not too tired. Or maybe the last one is because you know it's the last one. Right. Just give you a few more seconds to recover. A mark of fitness, I've said this before, a mark of fitness is not how fast your heart rate gets, but how quickly it gets back to normal. This exercise never gets any easier because as you get fitter, you give it more welly. So the effort always feels the same. It's just you're putting more effort into it because you're fitter. Sorry, don't mean to depress you about that. It doesn't get any easier. Right, last one. Give it some welly. You ready? On your marks, set, off you go. "17, 18, 19, 20. Isn't 20 seconds a long time when you're enjoying yourself? Right, I'll just give you a few seconds to recover your breath before we go into the stretching. And just to remind you that if you've enjoyed the session, if you scroll down, or if you haven't already saved the link, if you could go on to buy me a coffee and buy me a coffee, I'd be very grateful. There's no obligation though, but if you do feel that it's worth a coffee, then you just go in. It's just one click of the button. It's PayPal, I'm afraid. Also, if you could subscribe, I do that because on a laptop, when you get the screen up, when you click on YouTube, it's underneath on the comments. You can subscribe, which doesn't mean having to pay money. It just means it's a sort of like button. And also there's a thumbs up thing. If you've enjoyed the session, just click the thumbs up. But if you want to buy me a coffee and you can't find the link, just let me know. I'll certainly show it to you. I'll let you know where it is. Right, how's your breathing? So we'll get a chair. We're going to stretch calf muscles first. So holding onto the chair, front leg bent, back leg straight, both heels on the ground. If you can't get your heel on the ground, move your foot in a bit. Check that both feet are pointing in the same direction. And then you lean forward. You should feel the stretch at the top of your calf, behind your knee. And then very gently, bend your back knee just a tiny bit. Your heel will come off the ground. Put a bit of weight on that leg and you should feel the stretch going down into your Achilles tendon. And then switch legs. And just check that your feet are pointing in the same direction. It's easy to think they are, and then you look down and they're not. And then again, bend your back knee. The weight goes down into your Achilles, or the stretch goes down into your Achilles. Okay, right, we're going to do the quadricep stretch now. There's these big muscles here. If you can, grab your toe, your foot, your shoe, your sock, your bottom of your trouser leg, and try and stand up straight, have your knees together. It's not a balancing one, so hold on, although you can practice your balance if you want. If you can't get your knee up like that, then do this. This is dynamic stretching, still stretching those muscles. Okay, so I'm going to do a static stretch. And I'm going to practice not holding on. Ooh. And then static stretchers, swap legs. Dynamic stretchers, keep doing this. You can get your knees together, it increases the stretch. But if you can't, if you can only go up to there, that's absolutely fine. I find this slightly easier than the other balancing one. Maybe I'm getting better at balancing. Okay. Next, we're going to do the hamstrings, which are the big muscles at the back of your leg. So you need to sit at the edge of the chair. Move this back a bit. Sit at the edge of the chair. Knees at 90 degrees, ankles under your knees. Sitting up nice and straight. One leg is forward with your toe pulled back. And sitting up nice and straight. Lean forward from your hips, not from the waist. So your back stays straight. Well, you know what I mean. You're not hunching forward like that. You're going forward like that. Just go where it's just a little bit challenging. Make sure that it's not painful, and don't bounce. I've seen people doing this. Don't do that. Just go down and hold it. I mean, you're nice and warmed up, so you shouldn't pull anything, but bouncing isn't to be recommended. And then sit up. And the other one, sitting up nice and straight, forward from the hips, not the waist. Okay. Standing up. Arms out at shoulder length, shoulder height. Palms facing forwards and round the tree. So your arms are round like that rather than straight. And then dip your head. And you should feel a stretch at the top of your back, across your shoulders. And then, if you can, interlock your fingers behind you. If you can't, just try and get your elbows together. If you are interlocking your fingers, just lift your arms slightly, and that gets the stretch across your chest. Okay. And then, if you can, put your hand above your hand up with your palm facing back, and then down your back like that. If you can't do this, then if you've got mobility problems with your shoulder, just leave this one out, and then you push back just to get a stretch there. I'll show you what I'm doing. And then release it. And then go with the other one. I don't know why, I find it easier to do that above my head than the other one. The other one I do it that way. See, I can feel it really pulling there. And then release it. And then get your chair. Just sitting comfortably in the chair, not leaning on the back. Use your own muscles to support you. And then dip your head. And then put your hand on your crown, but don't push. Just let the weight of your hand push your head down. It should only go down slightly. Then bring your head up. And then turn your head to the left, only your head, not your shoulders. Note where your chin is in relation to your shoulder. Put your right hand on the right hand side of your face. And then try and turn your head back to the center, but resist with your hand. So that you're creating tension in your neck. So have that little struggle going on. And then relax, and you should be able to turn your head a little bit more to the left. Keep your head turned to the left. Don't bring it back to the center. Hold it there for a few seconds. And then bring it back slowly to the center. And then go to the other side. Again, note where your chin is in relation to your shoulder. Left hand on your left hand side of your chin. Try and bring your head back. Resist with your hand. And then relax and see if you can turn your head just slightly more to the right. To the right. And hold it there. And that's it. Thank you very much for joining the Wednesday class. And I'll see you again next Wednesday. Gosh, we're nearly at the end of August. Is next week September? I don't know what date it is. Thank you very much, and I'll see you.